Hello, today I want to take a look at my on-card basic or main event collection. If you're not familiar, this series is a little more, a little lower price, not as much articulation, although the articulation increased a couple years ago. Not really any accessories, unless we talk about the main event showdown packs that will come usually with one accessory. But I think it's a good way to expand your collection and maybe get some characters into your collection that you don't have yet, or sometimes get some different looking gear. So the first one I want to talk about is this Dolph Ziggler 76. This is from around the time I started collecting. I actually got it much later from a store called Second in Charles. It's a secondhand store. Um, so I don't think the head is the greatest on this figure compared to some of the more recent ones, but to get a Dolph Ziggler is never a bad thing. You can see some other characters that were in the set: AJ Styles, John Cena, The Rock, Sami Zayn with the short hair, very old look from 2016, and Macho King Randy Savage from 1989. Moving on is another Second in Charles pickup that I just recently got, and this is Carmella. So I've seen a few Carmella figures over the years. I never really got one, but I did decide to pick this one up recently. I think it is a pretty nice figure. The women, as far as I've been collecting, as long as I've been collecting, could always kind of like do the side splits, whereas the men couldn't until recently. Ball joints, that kind of thing. So this is from Series 106. It's the face, all that. We also had Finn Balor, Triple H, R-Truth, Carmella, Johnny Gargano in this set as well. So then skipping ahead, my next one is from Series 115. That's Tegan Knox. So this is when she was still in NXT. She had just come back from injury. I saw this at Target and I thought, oh, I really want to get this figure because she's just coming back and it's going to be great to have this figure. She did get called up to the main roster. She did get released. She did get rehired. She did get released again. So if you're more familiar with her with the multicolored hair, this is not that. This is her from NXT. This is the first time in the line. A lot of these basics are going to be first time in the line. So again, basics or main events are a good way to get a character that they haven't made in any other version yet. 115 also had Braun Strowman, Becky Lynch, Humberto Carrillo, Roberto now, Big E, and Tegan Knox. So we can see in a lot of these sets, they'll have maybe an NXT character, maybe one or two women characters. Back at this point, 115, it wasn't so difficult to get the women. These days, it's very difficult. Moving over to Series 117, they put a tag team in this series, and I've got them both. It's Heavy Machinery. So Otis was getting really popular around this time. Just the amount of time it goes from concept to production to getting on shelves at Target and Walmart can be 9 months to a year, maybe even longer. So a lot of times when we get somebody that we were excited to see, it's going to be a little bit of an older look just because it takes so long to produce them. So I was really at the time excited to get this Otis. I've got another Otis since the Elite Edition. Also in 117, we see Roman Reigns, Undertaker, Otis, Tucker, and Toni Storm before she was timeless. So there's Otis, just in the short trunks, not the singlet that he wears now. And there's his partner, Tucker. I think they also did a Heavy Machinery in the Elite line, but I've never seen it, and that's not something I've collected. Moving along, Lacey Evans. Seems like this figure was in Walmart forever. I know that she did an Elite as well. I don't have that. I just have this basic version of her. I don't remember if this is the chase. I think there was a yellow and a red. One was the chase, just a different look, different color attire. And some people would go after those. I didn't really go after them too much. They didn't excite me all that much. So also in 119, we see John Cena, Triple H, Randy Orton, Dominic Dijakovic, also known as T-Bar, also known as Dijak, and Lacey Evans, of course. So then we take a pretty big jump from 119 to 132. Sometimes I'll go into Walmart and I'll see a figure on the shelf that's from a series from several series ago. Just kind of like feels like it randomly shows up. And that was the case for this Tamina. She's not standing high Her platform, I guess, has fallen down a little, but I think that's okay. So again, this is from 132. This was the first version of Tamina that I got, so I was kind of happy to be able to get it. So if we look elsewhere in 132, we see different packaging at this point. Rey Mysterio, Bobby Lashley, Riddle, and Kushida. I ended up getting an Elite Edition Kushida, but I never did get the basic version. Next set, or next series, 133. This is the last Cedric Alexander. I remember us seeing he's got the short hair in this version. He's in TNA now. I like the longer hair look. I wish we would have gotten that look from the end of his time in WWE, in NXT, but we didn't. So we have this, but this is a nice version of Cedric Alexander. 133 also had Stone Cold Steve Austin, Roman Reigns, Natalya, and Finn Balor. Jump ahead a couple more series. 135, this is the first time in the line. This is Reggie. He was later repackaged as Scripps. It would have been cool, I think, to get a Scripps because I thought that was a really nice look. But here's Reggie. He was a manager for Carmella for a time. Also in the set, Brock Lesnar, Damian Priest, Braun Breaker, and that was a really hard to find figure for a while, really valuable. Now we see him all the time, but back then it was really coveted. And then Nikki ASH. I know in some stores she kind of lingered for quite a long time, but I never ended up picking that one up because I had a different Nikki Cross. 138, Gigi Dolan. I was really excited to get this figure. I really wish I could have gotten JC Jane as well. This is, I believe, the only Gigi Dolan they ever made. I got a message on Reddit not too long ago about someone asking me about it. I don't really resell at all, so I didn't respond to them or anything like that. But this is a nice, I think, Gigi Dolan. Also in this set, Edge, Drew McIntyre, Shinsuke Nakamura. And then we do see the JC Jane. I think that's the only JC Jane we've ever seen. I'm imagining we're going to see some more in the near future. I really wish I would have seen that one as well, especially when these two were a tag team. I'll move on to 143. I don't know the exact series where the articulation improved, but you can see it has the little emblem for the articulation. So all the figures that were coming out in 2024 likely had this. This is the first time in the line. Ashanti the Adonis. I was happy to get this one as well. He was in NXT at the time. He's since been released, but a nice figure. Also in the set, Cody Rhodes, John Cena, Becky Lynch, and a referee, Mr. T, if you needed that. 145 is next. Here's Ludwig Kaiser. Some people say he's in AAA as El Grande Americano. This was the first time in the line, so this is our first Ludwig Kaiser. A couple series after this, Giovanni Vinci had come out as well. I never saw that in my store. Seen other videos where people have seen that figure even recently, but I've never seen it myself. 145. First time in the line, Tiffany Stratton. I have that one as well, but that one's out of box. Sami Zayn, Gunther, and Kane. 148, Kaden Carter. I think this is around the time it started to get really challenging to find the women figures, but I was fortunate enough to see her, and I saw her exactly once, and I picked her up. I never did see her tag team partner, Katana Chance. So I think this is a nice figure. She's in AEW right now. Also in the set, we see Hogan, John Cena, Carmelo Hayes, and Roddy Piper. So in these series, a lot of times we'll see a good mix of women, legends, NXTs, main rosters, things like that. This one seems particularly legend heavy. Just a couple more. Next is Maxine Dupree. I was really fortunate to find this one. I just kind of randomly went into Target about a year and a half, and she was right there, and I took it. So I was really excited, bought it. I was really excited for that. Also in 149, Cody Rhodes, Sheamus, Eddie Guerrero, and The Miz. So since then, in set 151, Thea Hale came out, and in my experience, he was a lot easier to come by. That's a nice figure as well. There was also a chase with the Chase U attire. Didn't mean for that to be a pun, but it kind of came out that way. But other than that, I think the women figures have become really, really hard to find. I haven't really found any since then. And my latest in terms of series, at least, that I've picked up is Nathan Fraser. This was the first time in the line. I know he has an Elite coming out. I'll probably stick with this for at least a while. Of these basics and main events, this is probably the most likely to come out of box in the near future. So also from this set, Jey Uso, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, and there's Alundra Blaze. Kind of excited to see her. I'd like to also see her in the Legends Elite line. I don't know if that's in the plans or not, but that would be a nice thing as well. So that's my main event or basic on card collection. So I'll ask you, what's a character, legend, NXT, main roster, that hasn't been produced yet that you would like to see in this line? For me, I'm going to say Fallon Henley. I think that would be a great figure to have. It would be very difficult to find. I'm certain about that. But I think that would be a great figure to find. Although her ring attires would fit really well with an Elite edition. But since we haven't had any yet, I would just love to see a main event edition Fallon Henley. So thanks for watching. Again, let me know in the comments what main event line characters or what characters you would like to see in the main event line, and I will see you in the next one.